Why psychological safety is important in the workplace. Hi, everybody, and welcome. And today's episode is about something that I realize a lot of people don't really understand, and that is psychological safety. Psychological safety, in my operational kind of way of functioning in the world, is that the person mentally and emotionally feels safe to share their ideas and who they are without fear of retribution of any kind, including being made fun of, sarcastic comments, or outright verbal and emotional abuse, right? And in the workplace, I've experienced all of those things. I have experienced being made fun of. I have experienced being ridiculed. I've experienced it all over the course of my career. And I think it's really important. I think it's important that we realize that psychological safety is a thing and that psychological safety is required for healthy human functioning, including in the workplace. I think when I was younger and I starting my career, it was kind of like noble to be in a situation that was hard on us, or maybe even we would call it today abusive, but that was the way it was done, right? And just because it was done that way decades ago doesn't mean it's appropriate today, because in theory, us humans are supposed to be evolving and growing. And the truth is, what was true decades ago may not be true today. Remember, Pluto was a planet once, right? So, and then I remember being taught that our neurons didn't grow, and that once whatever neurons we were born with in our brain, that's all we have. That's also not true anymore. So there's so many things that we believe to be true that aren't true now. It doesn't mean they were lies then. It means that we've grown in our awareness and our understanding and our knowledge so that we have a different truth today. And 10 years from now, it will also be different, a lot of things. So I think it's important that we realize that psychological safety is a valuable thing. It may not have been revered years ago, and some people might even think I'm crazy talking about it now. I recently did an event for an academic institution, and I mentioned psychological safety to these educated people and educators, and none of them even knew what it was. I had to define it. But yet they were describing situations that were less than psychologically safe in their life. And so I think it's important that we talk about this. It really means that you can share who you are without fear of retribution, without being made fun of, or it's a stupid question, or worse than that, being laughed at. People who have lived through trauma in their lives, when somebody laughs at them, it re-traumatizes them. So you could be re-traumatizing somebody in your own like little world and not even know it, because you're not paying attention to being honoring of the people around you. Or you could be somebody who's trying to work in a workplace where everybody's doing all this stuff and it doesn't feel safe to you. So here's my message. If you're not feeling safe, honor that and move to a place that you are feeling safe. If it means change jobs, change jobs. If it means starting your own business, learn how to do that and do it. I'm not saying go quit right now. I'm saying make a plan to get yourself psychologically safe. If you're an employer or a supervisor or a manager and you're not creating psychological safety for your people, like maybe you're using offensive language. I mean, like really offensive language, not the stuff that the people make up now in the culture. I'm talking about, what are you doing? Are you treating people with the dignity and respect and honor that they deserve? Like really? Because if somebody's working for you and they don't deserve your honor, dignity, and respect, I want to know why you hired them. It doesn't make sense to me that you would have somebody in your influence that you don't honor and respect. So it's time that we as humans, as responsible adult humans, pull together some understanding that's a whole lot better than what we've been doing. Now, I also think that this lack of psychological safety and high levels of fear in our culture that have been instilled in us, at least starting at 9/11, if not before, that high level of fear has altered our DNA and it has changed how we think. And it has slowly made us kind of numb to what's right and what isn't. So now with COVID hitting and people starting to wake up a little bit more about what's good and right and true, they're starting to make better choices, hopefully, toward safety, which means what looks like the Great Resignation that I keep hearing about, I don't think it's a resignation at all. I think people are taking a stand for what's good and right and true for themselves. I think it's part of a great awakening. And so sometimes we have to write a resignation letter to one way of life in order to receive the other way of life. I've worked in substance abuse for years, and I always had my people write a resignation letter as general manager of the universe, because most of them were trying to control the whole world. It's the same thing. We have to resign from the old way in order to receive the new way. That's how it works. You can't grab this without letting go of that. So what are you doing to create psychological safety in your life? What are you doing if you're an employer or a supervisor or with anyone, you're an influencer? What are you doing to create safety? And I'm telling you, if you're in a position where you don't feel psychologically safe, start taking steps to be safe. You deserve to be safe. It matters that you're safe. And just like this tree that I'm standing next to, it's probably been here like, I don't know, 70 years, maybe bigger. It's a big tree. It's rooted, it's grounded, it's firm. I can lean up against it and feel that safety of Mother Earth, the safety of the tree, the safety of earth beneath me. And it's in that safety that my spirit can soar, my brilliant ideas can happen, and all of my quirky, gifted, crazy parts of me can show up into something and create beautiful experiences and events and relationships. So your neat, weird, quirkiness self that's hidden in there, it's time to bring it out. It's time to shine. It's time to be grounded in a way that serves you and serves the world. We can only do this when we are psychologically safe. So I invite you with everything of my being to really work toward being a safe person to be around and to creating safety in your own life. There is no good excuse for not being safe. There's no good excuse for it. So if somebody's making excuses or defending or explaining away, that's a warning sign. That's a lack of safety. So until the next episode of Someone Gets Me, be safe.